What if I told you that everything you've ever been taught about reality was only half the story? That the truths you were handed, from classrooms to pulpits, were just fragments, carefully chosen to keep something much bigger hidden? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear isn't theory. It's not fantasy. It's the unraveling of a global secret that has been buried for centuries. And it starts with one woman who dared to ask what everyone else was too afraid to question. Her name is Betty J. Kovacs, and she didn't just study myths, she decoded them. Welcome to New Paradigm. The lie we were told. Imagine this. You grow up believing Jesus came to save you, that all you have to do is believe, and you're good. But what if that's not what he ever meant? In 1945, something massive was uncovered in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, a cache of ancient texts that had been hidden away for over 1,600 years. In those writings, Jesus wasn't preaching salvation through worship. He was teaching mysticism, transformation, love as a state of being. He said, "I did not come to save you. I came to remind you of who you are. Let that land. You weren't meant to follow the Christ. You were meant to become the Christ." But somewhere along the line, this message got flipped, hijacked. The church turned this internal awakening into an external dependency, and the mystery schools that carried the original teachings silenced. Meet the woman who connected the dots. Betty J. Kovacs, PhD, spent over 25 years teaching comparative narrative literature and symbolic language at UC Irvine. But her real education began when she followed a gnawing feeling that neither religion nor science had the full picture. Religion gave her rules, science gave her randomness, but both left her cold. She knew there had to be something more, a deeper truth that united consciousness, myth, and reality itself. So she went back, way back. Before Eden was a prison. Let's talk about a story you think you know: Adam, Eve, the serpent, and the tree. Now forget the version where Eve is tricked and humanity is punished. That version came later, filtered through patriarchy and control. In the Sumerian tradition, the tree wasn't forbidden. It was sacred. The fruit, a gift of knowledge. The serpent, not evil, but symbolic of Kundalini energy, a spiritual force coiled at the base of your spine, waiting to rise. This wasn't a story of shame. It was an invitation. So what happened? Why did the serpent become a villain? Why was the divine feminine erased? Because knowledge is power. And if you control the story, you control the power. The universal ritual you never knew you knew. Now here's where things get even wilder. Across the globe, for over 40,000 years, humans practiced rituals to tap into expanded states of consciousness. And get this, they didn't know each other. Yet, from the Amazon to Siberia, their methods were eerily similar. Repetitive dance, sacred plants, drumming, chanting, rhythms that quiet the logical mind and activate a part of the brain that connects with something more. This wasn't religion. This was technology. They were syncing with the cosmic field, experiencing time differently, receiving visions, healing trauma, and accessing knowledge that didn't come from books. Modern neuroscience is just starting to catch up. Studies show that these rituals change neural pathways and open access to what many researchers now call non-local consciousness. Temples were machines. Ancient temples weren't just beautiful buildings. They were instruments designed with sacred geometry, patterns like spirals, and perfect proportions that mirror the structure of the universe. Egyptian temples, megalithic structures, stone circles, they were built in alignment with star systems, planetary cycles, and Earth's own magnetic fields. Modern data backs this up. Studies now show that pyramids and ancient stone sites actually amplify electromagnetic frequencies. And when human beings enter those fields, something changes. Mind and body begin to attune to higher frequencies. This wasn't superstition. This was science they understood in ways we still don't. When the world tried to bury it all. But then came the silencing, the takeover. As new societies rose to power, they dismantled these systems of knowledge. Temples became tourist sites, ceremonies became rituals without spirit. And the original purpose? Erased, but not completely. Mystical traditions like Hermeticism, alchemy, and Kabbalah survived, hidden in the shadows, carried by secret societies, passed through coded texts, protected from the church's fires. In medieval Europe, the church crushed any philosophy that questioned its authority. Thinkers were imprisoned, books destroyed, and mystics executed. But the ideas lived on, underground. A Renaissance no one talked about. During the European Renaissance, a spark reignited. One of the key figures? Pico della Mirandola. He believed all religions held fragments of a single divine truth. He tried to bring Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and Christian mysticism into one grand synthesis. But the church wasn't having it. His work was censored and his life cut short. Still, others took up the cause. Rosicrucians, alchemists, visionaries. They weren't just chasing gold. Alchemy was code for internal transformation, base consciousness into higher awareness. Even then, they understood that the real philosopher's stone was the mind, fully awakened. Science meets the spiritual field. Fast forward to now. Quantum physics is starting to echo what these mystics knew, that everything is vibration, that the universe is a web of energy fields, that matter isn't solid, it's potential shaped by consciousness. Ancient traditions always said the mind was a creator, not just a receiver. And now, neuroscience backs it up. Meditation changes the brain. Visualization alters perception. Intention shifts outcomes. Your thoughts can influence reality, not metaphorically, literally. You are the portal. So here's the question. If temples, symbols, and rituals were blueprints to activate a higher self, what happens when you become the temple? What happens when you realize that your mind, your heart, your body is the technology? The ancients knew this, that true transformation comes from within, and they left us clues, practices, stories, codes, all waiting for us to remember. Kovacs understood something essential, that these forgotten truths were never lost, just hidden. And the real revolution, it doesn't happen out there. It happens in you. So what would your life look like if you remembered what your ancestors knew? What could you do if you reactivated that dormant force within you? We are standing at the edge of rediscovery. The choice is yours. The door is open. Who walks through? You don't have to believe blindly. You don't have to worship anyone. You don't even have to follow. You just have to remember. The ancients built it into our myths, our architecture, our bodies. The frequencies, the movements, the symbols, they all point back to one truth. You are more than you were taught. And that knowing, that awakening, that is the key to shaping reality. It starts when you decide to see. So, are you ready to remember who you really are? If ancient temples were actually machines built to activate human consciousness, what do you think we've lost by forgetting how to use them? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your take. If this kind of hidden knowledge speaks to something deep in you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next. This is just the beginning.